Hey guys, it's Moody here, and I have a battle against one of my subscribers. He actually gave me a lot of my Pokemon. Well, not a lot of... He gave me some Pokemon, and I used them in this battle, but I just want to thank you all you guys that actually gave me Pokemon to use, and I really appreciate it. So I can't thank you enough, but this is actually a really good battle. I promised him a battle in return, basically. So, you know, it kind of evens out. Content for my channel, Pokemon, I guess. I wish he had a channel to advertise, but he doesn't, unfortunately. So we will have to manage. So, team preview, oh, that went too quick, but I basically had Tyranitar, Terrakion, then I think I threw in some new stuff in there that he gave me. Kind of sure, but I think I led off with Terrakion thinking that was the best lead. And here I went for Stone Edge thinking he was going to go into Jellicent because Jellicent is, you know, ghost type, and I predicted him to predict me to use close combat, and I went Stone Edge, and that clearly failed on me first turn horrendously. So first turn, horrible predictions. I'm already at a loss. However, I do have Milotic. A lot of you get on me for saying it wrong, but I love this Pokemon so much, and I've been calling it Milotic my whole life, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But I sent out Milotic. I assumed he was gonna switch out, but I wasn't sure into what, so that's why I did Toxic. And you know, I guess Galvantula being toxic isn't the worst thing in the world, but here I had a feeling he was going to set up Sticky Web or hit me with an electric attack. I was really hoping for not the Sticky Web, but I was really hoping for the Thunder, the Thunderbolt, something like that, so Manectric could get a boost, but not what happens. And Sticky Web is really unfortunate because I did not bring a Defogger or a Rapid Spinner, so I decided to leave Manectric in and just go for a Thunderbolt, hoping that he brings in something that would at least be neutral to it. I think he didn't really have anything at the time that was resisted by it, no ground types or anything, so that's why I decided to go for Thunderbolt. And now he switches out and he goes into Terrakion. Terrakion is not gonna live this at all. I mean, it lives it, but with a little, but then I outspeed it because I already know that my Terrakion outsped it, so I know that I'm faster than it because I was not scarfed at the time, so I know that Manectric can pretty much outspeed it. And then he brings in Charizard. Now here I protect because I wanted to know what kind of Charizard he is going to have, because if he has Charizard X, then I was going to just switch out, but since he has Charizard Y, I decided to stay in because he's Fire Flying, still weak to Thunderbolt. I'm going to be able to outspeed him as well and just take him out. I want to say the crit didn't matter, but I'm not sure. I don't do damage calcs. The crit may have mattered. I'm not entirely sure, but he does bring in Darmanitan, so I bring in my Milotic again because she, it's a she, I know it's a she, but she's just a bulky beast, and I knew whether or not he flamethrowered or went for a fighting type attack that I could take it regardless. And I decided to just go for Scald here. He goes into Galvantula, which isn't bad, especially because he's poisoned. I recovered. Okay, I'm sorry. I recovered, probably for the best. But here, I thought that he was going to predict me to switch out, so I decided to stay in. And he went for the Bug Buzz, predicting me to switch out. And I'm like, yeah, predictions. So I was happy about that. It was kind of a risk, but I figured I could at least get some damage off on Galvantula, and he's going to take some Toxic. So since I switched out the first time, I figured he was going to predict me to switch out again, so I stayed in. But now I know he's going to want to switch out, and I went into my Tyranitar, and honestly, not sure why. I think mainly because just in case he wanted to go for a Bug Buzz again, I did not want to go into Manectric. But it works out because he does miss his Thunder. I guess that's alright, and he's taking poison damage, so Galvantula is soon to be no more. I was alright with taking Bug Buzz because it's not going to do a lot because my Tyranitar has special defense, so that's all okay. So I just am going to end up taking him out with combination of Sand and Poison, and Galvantula is no more. Meanwhile, Tyranitar is still at a pretty good amount of health. He does bring in Darmanitan. I know I need to keep around Talonflame because of my priority acrobatics. That's the only thing I do know right now, but I am going to go back into Milotic, assuming he was going to want to go either for Flare Blitz or U-turn in this case. If I had competitive melodic, like the ability, I would be getting a special attack boost every time it came in. And that would just be the greatest thing. That's the only good thing about Sticky Web. So now he brings in Starmie, and I'm here just, I think I can take some of Starmie's attacks. So he Thunderbolts me. I was kind of like, maybe he'll over-predict again and expect me to switch out, but I decided to just stay and Scald, get some, as much damage as I can. He, oddly enough, has Air Balloon, which I haven't seen before, so at the same time I'm like, I want to get rid of Air Balloon just because, just in case, and Starmie is going to end up hitting me, but he doesn't take me out with the Rapid Spin. I think he thought he would, but he didn't, and I ended up recovering off all that again, and once again we're back with my Melodic at a lot of health, and I decided to switch out here and go basically into Tyranitar as fodder, assuming that he was just going to want to Thunderbolt me again, but he may want to go for Hydro Pump. That's why I didn't feel safe switching directly into Tyranitar, but he goes for Recover, and at this point I stay in. I think I can live Hydro Pump, especially because I'm in Sand, so I do get the boost in Special Defense, so I get the burn though, and he goes for Scald, and I got the burn, and I'm like, no, this is the worst thing that could happen, but a super effective Crunch, even with burn, did a lot, so just a little bit more. I mean, I'm probably dying most likely to the next Scald, however, I can bring in a Pokemon like Talonflame and outspeed him if the Sand didn't take him out, but the Sand did take him out, so luckily Starmie is not an issue at all. So now he goes into his Jellicent, and I go into my Talonflame. I was hoping he didn't go into Jellicent, but he did, so I'm forced to switch out again. Luckily, rocks aren't up because Talonflame would have been screwed, so I went into my Melodic mainly hoping he would go for a water type attack, but he goes for Recover, and I'm like, this thing is the biggest, well, not the biggest nuisance that I have run into yet. I think the biggest nuisance on my list is still Glysker, but Melodic, he Will-O-Wisps me. I mean, that's alright, I guess, if you're going for just like that extra residual damage. And Sandstorm Phase also fantastic for me because I don't have to keep taking the extra damage. And I do have Recover, so honestly Burn is one of the best things that could happen to me besides, I guess, Paralysis probably. Those two things aren't bad on Melodic because I have Marvel Scale, so it can come in handy, especially since he still has Darmanitan. So I decided to switch out and go into my Manectric. I'm pretty sure even if he decided to attack me with anything, that I could live it and then still outspeed with a Thunderbolt. And his Scald doesn't do a lot to me at all. So I'm like, alright, T-Bolt, we're going to take this thing out now. He Will-O-Wisps me. It doesn't really matter because I am a special attacker, so I mean, I expected him to just hit me again, but the Thunderbolt does take him out, and he goes into his Darmanitan now, and I decided to switch out, probably back into Melodic, thinking, hey, I'm Burn, I have the defense boost, and how much is stuff gonna do to me? Probably not a lot, and in the worst case scenario, if I die, then I can simply bring in Talonflame safely and just OHKO with a Acrobatics. I still have Acrobatics on my Talonflame. I'm really hoping that I can get Flying Gem on it eventually, but I don't have a Flying Gem on it yet, and I honestly prefer Acrobatics over Brave Bird because I don't like taking all the recoil, but I can bring Talonflame in now and kill him out, and I think that's gonna net me the win, and I won! Woo! Yay! So, if you guys enjoyed the battle, you can leave a like, and I'd super duper appreciate it. And once again, if there are any Pokemon you want to see me use, you can leave them in the description, and I'll try using them in the next battle. And as always, I love you all, and bye!